What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network and channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew: Shy, Kelvin, Jermaine, KB Film Room, and Big Dog Talk Sports. That's right. That's right. Everyone who's tuning in today to check out this video, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel. Help make this show the best that it can be. NBA playoffs. The NBA is fantastic when all of the talking heads get out of the way. And I'm telling you, the NBA will be on point once we get past it, officially get past this era of chaos, madness, teaming up, stacking the deck, joining forces, a la super teams, manipulating the system, mortgaging off draft picks like it's candy, siphoning off your own young drafted talent, exploiting the cap space to bring on mercenaries to try to win a cheap ring. All that is coming to a resounding end. And you know why? Because the organization that has been building up their young talent and developing these young squads, they are slowly but surely taking over. They are now becoming the young veterans, the flag bearers of the league. And this is why I say I don't even, when they talk about who's the face of the NBA, I don't get off in all that, man. Because it's really all about winning. And a lot of stuff has been predetermined and manipulated over these past 15 years, and it's brought the whole league dynamic down. A lot of fans who of the youth generation who've only been presented with this manufactured presentation, they don't really realize what's been going down. But as stuff starts to get kind of shaky on shaky ground, they're gonna want to start asking real questions, and that's when the real NBA followers and lifelong fans, we're finally going to have our say here on our channel, other YouTube content providers. We're here, man. We're here because we love the NBA and we love real competition, and we respect the past. We enjoy the present and look forward to the future. Fans such as myself, we've been chided a lot, man. And we just had to sit there and just let this thing ride out. That's all we can do, But the reason I'm setting the stage for this is because last year, particularly in the Western Conference, even in the Eastern Conference, we look at what the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing this year. Best record in the East. Boston Celtics stayed the course with their cornerstone players, and they are the defending champions. Milwaukee built around Giannis Antetokounmpo for 7-8 years, and he led them to their first championship in 50 years since the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did back in 1971. The New York Knicks are back, on point as a playoff contender. The Indiana Pacers, truth be told, they could be one of the top 3 offensive teams in the NBA. The Orlando Magic playing strong. They beat Boston last night in Game 3 of their first round series. There's so much to look forward to, man. The Detroit Pistons, kudos to fans of the Pistons. They back in the playoff scenario. It's great to see, man. It elevates the game, when you see teams doing it the right way. And last year, in the first round, I picked the Minnesota Timberwolves to beat the Phoenix Suns. They beat them. I picked the Denver Nuggets. Kudos to Denver. They built around their cornerstone players for 7 years. They broke through and won the first ever championship in franchise history. I picked Denver to beat the Lakers, and they beat them in the first round. And I picked the Dallas Mavericks to beat the Clippers last year. I just believe in the young teams, man. 2 years ago, Sacramento Kings had the top-rated offense in basketball. And they forced Golden State to a tough 7-game series where Curry had to deliver the playoff performance of his career and scoring 50 points in that Game 7 to advance to the next round. And matter of fact, advance to the next round. And here, Oklahoma City Thunder, 68-14, number 1 seed, second straight year in a row. And the Houston Rockets, they the number 2 seed of the Western Conference. It's no accident they number 2 seed, and I think they can win this series. You know, they took that first hit from Golden State because Golden State got all that experience and they got the jump on Houston in that game. But this is what makes a team mature and grow and overcome, you know, that hurdle. It's called competition. And that gets me to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Last year, they advanced to the Western Conference Finals, beat the defending champion Denver Nuggets to get there. And then here we go again. The first round, you know, they consider the underdog going into the series versus the Los Angeles Lakers. But if you watch as many games as possible and you watch as many teams as possible, man, there's a less likely chance of you falling for the hype. It was being said, you know, by these talking heads, man. And the thing about the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have the components to make a deep playoff run. It's just a matter of everybody fulfilling a role on the team, you know. And last night was a prime example what I'm talking about. As the Timberwolves going into Game 3 yesterday, tied, you know, a game apiece against the Lakers. In Game 3, they took a hit in the first half. The Hurricane, you know, he was hot yesterday. But the thing about his game is in the fourth quarter, he don't close. He's never been a closer, man. And they Minnesota withstood the storm, and they slowly started to take control of that game last night. In the fourth quarter, everybody played their role to a T, and they broke through and they won, going away down the stretch by the score of 116-104 to take a 2-1 series lead. And the player, I've been saying, Anthony Edwards, he had to play like a superstar in that fourth quarter, and that's exactly what he did. He played like a superstar. And then McDaniels dropped a 30-piece. He scored 30 points. And Naz Reid hit 2 clutch 3-point shots in that fourth quarter to help seal the deal. But the player to me who anchored Minnesota when the game was in balance, it was in flux. It was one Julius Randle. And, you know, I think people who subscribe to the channel know that I'm a lifelong Lakers fan, man. But I root for that young core because I know their value. I know their true value. See, that's the thing. I know their true value because I watch every game the season before they brought the Hurricane to the franchise. I watch every single game that they played in, man. And the thing about Julius Randle, you know, I know during his first playoff foray in 2021, when he won Most Improved Player, led the Knicks to the playoffs for the first time since like 2015, 2015, since prime Carmelo Anthony. Well, in the starting 5 unit, Randle was the only player who really created a shot. And this is way before they got Jalen Brunson, OJ Anunoby, McCall Bridges, people like that. Or even last year when Dante DiVincenzo was on the team. It was Randle and it was Derrick Rose coming off the bench as the 6th man. You know, so in that first round series for Julius Randle going up against the Atlanta Hawks, who went on to advance to the conference finals in 2021, all they had to do, man, was focus on Randle. They double team him, triple team him. Now, did he have the best series? No, he did not. But there's a reason behind it, you know. And like I said, Randle betted on himself by going to New York, and then he really built this game up, man. And he achieved second team All NBA honors, you know. So I know he can ball. And then I think that was 2 seasons ago, where he scored like 60. I think he had a chance to break Carmelo Anthony all-time scoring record in a single game at Madison Square Garden. At one time, it was Michael Jordan with the double nickel game, 55-point game in 1995. Then Kobe bust 61 in 2009. And then Carmelo Anthony got him with 62 points. Randle had a chance to break that all-time franchise record, so I know he can do it. But he played composed with poise, and he let the game dictate what he needed to do, whether it was score, facilitate, and down the stretch in the fourth quarter, he played great defense on the Hurricane as well as Luka Doncic. And this is why I keep stressing the point. You don't need a super team to win. You don't need a super team to win. You just need everybody on the team to step up, play their role. And sometimes, when a player really get going in the playoff situation, they can look like a superstar. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, man, the Lakers are in a situation where they've been going for it every year, for 7 years, man. And at the end of the day, there's teams that's more complete than them. They're more solidified than them. And therefore, I believe down the stretch of games, they're more confident, and I root for Julius Randle because, he played all 82 games for this franchise before he was let go. He played all 82 games. He suited up. See, we were, at the bottom, starting all over again. Julius Randle was there. He shared the court with Kobe Bryant, where Kobe played his last game of his career, in the NBA, and as a Laker, man. And I'm telling you, these young teams, they got it. They got it, man. They got it. Now, the Clippers, but the reason why the Clippers looking so good right now, man, is because they finally featuring Ivica Zubac, who really should be the favorite to win Most Improved Player. And I keep saying that young core. Just imagine the way Randle played last night. Just imagine what Zubac is doing. Josh Hart in New York, he had 11 rebounds the other night, Game 3 versus Detroit. He was the best rebounder in the playoffs last year at 6'4". That means he was out rebounding the big men. You see what I'm saying? Because that's his forte. That's a skill. Kuzma in Milwaukee, he's not being played right. He's a motion player. You have to get him like sets down screens or down pins to get him open so he can get his rhythm. Once he get his rhythm, then he can give you 20 points. But hopefully they'll figure it out. But the value of these young men, I always upheld them, man. And I knew that they can contribute to winning, and Julius Randle showing that. And I believe he's going to step it up another level for Game 4 because he wants to prove a point, man. Anytime a player play 82 games for you and who you drafted, that means he wants to be a long-standing figure for your franchise. And you can't let a player like that go, man. And he played with the physicality and the toughness last night. And, his defense was on point last night. So just the intangibles, man. And he's bringing that in this series. I don't see it stopping. But Minnesota Timberwolves, all that talk about Lakers in 5 because of the Hurricane on the team and Luka. The problem is they don't have no starting center on the team. Jackson Hayes is not even his fault. It's not his fault. He only had 2 points last night. He's not a starting center. Matter of fact, I think in Game 2 he was scoreless, and I think in Game 1 he may have had a point or maybe 2 points. So he's not even averaging like a backup with a backup center would average in a game. You see what I'm saying? The bench, the problem with the Lakers, other than the fact that they mortgaged their future away 7 years ago, is they continue to try to build a team around this guy. His style of play is run its course because teams without understanding is you can't really build a long-standing team around one guy that relies on spot-up shooting, the drive and kick. They need spot-up shooters. Well, the thing about spot-up shooters is they tend to be one-dimensional. And they tend to be a liability on defense. Well, what do they say about what they've been saying about the Lakers throughout the course of just in the grand scheme of things? Oh, they lack perimeter defense. They defense up top is not on par. They have one of the worst perimeter defensive units in the NBA. Well, there's a reason why. Because you keep trying to build a team around this guy. Now, what happens is you make a midseason trade, blockbuster trade, bring in a superstar. You're going to make an initial push. Yeah, you're going to win some games. But when it come money time, man, the top teams are going to flesh that out. And that's what I saw last night. That's what I saw last night. And I believe Minnesota, man, and what's crazy about it is that just imagine what the Lakers would have if they'd kept their young core and brought in the right star player, man. It'd be lights out. It'd be lights out for the rest of the league, you know. And even the rookie that they drafted, Dalton Connect, you know, he's a shattered player right now. In his rookie year, he was traded because he was a sacrificial lamb. You see what I'm saying? Just like the original young core. So, and that's what Anthony Davis found out this year, you know. But Minnesota Timberwolves, they for real, their defense, they played pretty much lockdown defense in that fourth quarter. And then everybody stepped up to the plate, contributed to a T, and they darn near played flawless down the stretch. And that's why they up 2-1. And the momentum, they playing at home for game 4. There's a great chance they're going to win that game and return back to LA up 3-1. See, this is real, man. This is real. And these real teams, they got the edge. They got the edge, man. That's why I trust them. Even though they're younger per se, but hey, the youth will rise, as they say. And that's why I believe is happening in the NBA right now. But once again, Minnesota took a 2-1 series lead versus the Lakers in their first round matchup by defeating LA by the score of 116 to 104. And like I say, Ant-Man, got to give him credit. Anthony Edwards played like a superstar down the stretch. You know, Naz Reid hit the 2 big shots. DiVincenzo hit a big shot. Conley even made plays. Mike Conley made plays. It was a team effort last night. It's beautiful to see. Beautiful to see. And if they can get Rudy Gobert going, if he can score double figures, man, this series could possibly be over within the next 4 days. That's what we're kind of looking at. But yeah, these young teams got it, man. They got it, man, and I'm happy for them because they stayed the course. And it don't take long. Look at your top 2 seeds in the West. Just 4 years ago, they were at the bottom of the standings, and the Memphis Grizzlies was hurting them is basically just the inability of Ja Morant being able to stay healthy because he always suffering some major injury. Otherwise, Memphis be right up there too, you know. So it ain't gonna change. Portland got better. Only thing that held New Orleans back was injuries and a franchise player being out the majority of the time. That's really the only thing that held them back. But like I said, the NBA needs to move forward, man. It needs to move forward. It's the youth. It's their time, man. As they say, the youth will rise. And once again, Minnesota won by the score of 116 to 104. And I know they're gonna be amped up tomorrow. The crowd gonna be into it, and I believe they're gonna rise to the occasion. And hopefully, this will show the Laker brass that you can't forego your young talent. And they don't go this direction no more. And the next time they have an opportunity to rebuild like that, because I don't think young talent's coming down the pike to that degree for a long, long time, which is why they never should have went this route to begin with. And they'd have been happier, and they've been winning way more than what they anticipated. But when you sacrifice your own and go the shortcut route, really you're selling yourself short in the end. And that's what the Laker organization is finding out as we speak. But leave your comments and thoughts. I'd like to hear what you have to say about the matter. And until next time, once again, this is JB for BTB, Behind the Bench.